Good day, folks. Today I wanted to talk about a statistical analysis of the kata. And I have been working for a long time with a simple Excel sheet because, the unwritten law of scientific work is everything starts with an Excel sheet, isn't it? All right. So here's, for example, it's just to get you through here on the left side, I have the category of attacks, which goes Jodan Uchi, Ura Uchi Gedan, Tsuki, Chudan level, Furiage Uchi, and so on, Hataki Uchi, Osai Uchi. Then I have the interims techniques, which are undefined, which are, for instance, preparation moves like in Tsunakake or preparation for Yoko Uchi, and so on. Then I have the Kamai, which are in the kata, like Hasu Kamai, Ichimonji, Shirotaro is special Kamai, Yamani Kamai, and so on, Waki Kamai. And then I have the defenses like Soto, Sukui, Mamori, Hikake, Harai, Hikake, Gedan Uke, Yoku Uke, Sukui, Furiage Uchi, Nagamochi, and what all there is, so many techniques. Then I have the direction changes, like direction change 180 degrees counterclockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, 100 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees clockwise, 360 degrees, 45 degrees, and so on. Yeah, and then like grip changes and stuff, here like if you change from Hontamochi to Gyokutemochi or back from left to right, from left to right to left, and so on. And then I have the kata, right? There's a Chatanyara no kon, there's a Chikinaka no kon, Chon no kon, Kongo no kon, Sakugawa, and so on. And so it shows how many Jodan Uchi are in Chatanyara. 10. How many Tsuki? 5. How many Ura Uchi? 2. How many Furiage Uchi Jodan? 4. And then it goes on like here, like there are actually 5 rotations, 180 degrees counterclockwise. Right, so you can analyze the kata in the structure and what it's made up from. So this is only a part, right? This is only part of the whole, but this is just to show you what you can do. And I think this points you to the right direction. For instance, Soichi no Kondai has 20 Jodan Uchi, right? What is this? 4 Ura Uchi. Age Uchi, yes. And then what we have here, Kaki Age Uchi. That's an interesting technique. You know that? It's 2 times in Kongo no kon. It's 4 times in Jueshi Sho. Kaki Age. Yeah. And then here you have the total of the numbers. So you have a total of 253 Jodan Uchi in all the kata, the Bo kata. 253. So instead of doing Kihon, you could do just all kata. Then you have done 253 Jodan Uchi within the terminological definition used by Inoue Motokatsu. Okay. And you have 79 Ura Uchi and you have just 76 Tsuki, which is interesting because if you look at the Okinawan schools, and here you can start a comparison between kata, because in the Okinawan schools, almost every Jodan Uchi is followed by a Tsuki. So the number of Tsuki in the, for instance, Akamine lineage, Kobudo, is much higher than in this by Inoue, and much higher than in the forms that Taira Shinken did himself, because he didn't do these many Tsuki. So you have all together, all in all, a total of 23 Tsunakake in all the Bo kata, 1 of which in Shinen Shikenaka, 10 in Shirotaro no Kondai, 5 in Shirotaro no Cho, Tsuyoshi no kon, and Tsukin Tsunakake no kon 5 times. So if this doesn't put you in a position to compare kata, then I don't know what it is. This is a beginning. So I have, for each technique, I have a description, right? So I have the stance here like this. I have, for example, here you have Uaso no kon. There's it's a number 54, and it's what does it say? I need to check it. Katsugi Tsuki. That's a special form of Tsuki. It's a backwards Tsuki, right? And it's an attack, and it's and that's the stance is yes, a left Tsuki, left Senkotsu Dutch. So, and if there are usually there are further descriptions how to do things or what to care about. So, this is an all-embracing thing. And for instance, if I want to see, I have another tool here, so I can check. For instance, for let me see, where is it? Um, I guess it's here. I don't know. Well, there it is. So I have this tool here where I can place in a certain combination, just a random combination. Let's say like I want to see Jodan Uchi, Furiage Uchi, Jodan Uchi followed by Soku Uke. So this is a combination of 4 techniques. So I have my little visual basic here. I'm going to say multi-cell search, and these are all the kata, right? All the kata. Then here's the technique name. Then there's a number within. Then there is what is it? Is it attack? Is it a defense? Is it an interims technique? Is it a grip change? And so on, right? And then I'm going to search it because I want to know in how many katas exactly, and in which kata, and in which position in the kata this combination is found. I want to see that because this tells you something about the actual structure of a kata, right? The design, if you wish. So I wish people would understand kata better. And there's nothing more good to understand kata, the design of kata, than studying Kobudo, by the way. But you can apply this to karate as well. And then look, there it is. This 4 technique combination is found twice in Shatanyara no Kon. Numbers 23 to 26 and 71 to 74. It's found several times in Shou no Kon. You see it here. Then you have it in Kongo no Kon. You have it in Sakugawa no Kon. Chu in the middle is the old style. Sakugawa no Kon Dai. There it is, 2 times. Right? Sesoko no Kon, several times, 8 times. So Ishi Dai and so on. It's Tsukenbo, it's in there, and it's in Urasoe no Kon, of course. So, but this is just an example. So just so you know how this works. So you have to have data. And in order to compare kata, you should just, you don't need to do this because this is a task that is too big. Also, you need to have basic math skills and IT skills, and use some tools, modern tools. And then you have to have sources. You have to learn a kata. You have to write down the sources. Not simply say, oh, look, there's a book. Like, for instance, here is Funakoshi's book. Let me see. Here's Funakoshi's book with his techniques. Then you would go, okay, you write down, for instance, a pinan or whatever it is here, like this here, or this is pinan shodan, right? This here. And then you would go and, you would describe it. You say, look, the stance is like that. The angle of the feet is like just the angle of the legs is like that. The fists are in position X, Y, Z. And if that is too complicated for you, don't try a comparison of the evolution of kata. Don't do it. In the end, you don't have to do a comparison because if you, as a pretext, say or assume that kata were nothing but combative techniques, you don't need that. You skip immediately forward to comparative analysis and you compare the moves that you see in the kata, whatever kata you take. Then you watch MMA fights, you watch grappling fights, you watch it on YouTube or on TV. Or you watch boxing, you watch this, you watch that. for instance, I like to look at the HEMA because of my language skills. I can read these old documents often very well and I understand it, and I have access to them. And I've been doing this for 25 years. So you just skip that. You don't need an analysis, right? But then again, if you want to do an analysis, it's of no use to say, okay, I'm gonna start my analysis before 1900, because that is the unknown. How was it? What was it? Was it entertainment? Was it, as Funakoshi said, a mekata, maybe rural dances that were made into, like, how can I say, training regiments like that? Or what is it? So uh, you cannot start with the X component, with the unknown component, right? So you start with that what you have, and you have large amounts of data. Oh, there's so much now. Every kata is described in very detail. You have the teachers teaching it. You have the books by the JKF, by this and that. You have the book by Nagamine. You have the book by Mabuni Kenwa, by Mabuni Kenai. You have the association books. You have the videos. So this is a data corpus, a media corpus that is so huge. You don't need to access this, or you can access this with simple humanities or academic thinking. That's impossible. That's a waste of time, I would say. Absolutely. So, and the other thing is, for if you do it like big, then it's just too big for one person. Or if a university would go and say, okay, we give you 200,000 a year, go ahead, get some assistance, then it would be possible. But still, you need to have access to all these sources, right? So, since I have access to a lot of sources, I do it partially, like in this case with the Bokata, right? Which give me great trends, great insights, great comparison. I can compare terminology, for example, right? The one person calls it like this, the other person calls it like that. Then in the end, it's just a terminology. And all the terminologies of karate and kobudo, they are creations of the second part of the 20th century. They are completely new. These terminologies didn't exist even in the first part of the 20th century, let alone before that. So, you know, comparing kata, you should start with what you have and not what you don't know. Particularly, you cannot assume a pretext like, well, it must have been all combative. No, it's not all combative. Right? Very, 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 very likely there are many, many different other elements in it. So using this pretext alone is a fallacy. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.